Today I am bringing you 10 albums that got me into the metal music genre, so stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? Nate from the Toasted Nate back at it again with another video. I know it's been a while, and I hope that during this long break that I've had that you've checked out some of the other videos that we posted. If you enjoyed them and you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell to be notified of all future episodes. Also, you can find us on Facebook at The Toast of Nate and Instagram at The Toast of Nate. Posted some cool stuff there this past weekend of some finds that I found when I was at a local CD store. Picked up Vulgar Display of Power, Screaming for Vengeance, Judas Priest and Pantera respectively, and the S&M concert from Metallica. Great stuff, and I hope that if you haven't heard those that you'll check those out, but those are not going to be on the list today because today I'm giving you 10 albums that got me into the metal genre. A little backstory, really the very first metal song that I remember distinctively hearing was Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue, and that was on Guitar Hero 2. And I won't lie to you and say the Guitar Hero franchise had a huge influence on me getting into the metal genre. I used to listen to all those songs that were on those video games, and if it weren't for those, I doubt I would have gotten into metal as easily as I did. They were just a great segue into it. I thought the game was awesome, and watching my friends play it, and I wanted to be as good at the game as I possibly could, and in doing so, I got into all this other music that I probably would not have otherwise. So today, I'm going to give you 10 albums that got me into metal genre. Let's go. So the first one I'm going to mention, like I said earlier, Guitar Hero got me into a lot of music, and this album is no exception. This is going to be 10,000 Fist from the band Disturbed. Came out in 2005. The very first song I ever heard by them was the song Stricken, which was on Guitar Hero 3, and instantly blew me away. I love the riff, I love the drums, I love the vocals, and the solo is what really got me. Years later, when I got a better guitar and all that, and especially a wah pedal, I sat down and I learned the whole song. Not a very complicated song to play, but just so fun. Like this is just a great fun album. Songs like Stricken and Guarded, Sons of Plunder, Disturbed's cover of Land of Confusion, which is one of my favorite covers. Great song, great album. My favorite song on the album though would have to be Overburdened. As a bass player, it's got one of the best bass lines in a song, and it is catchy, just a very beautiful song. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't really say Disturbed is metal now, and I would even agree with that. I've kind of fallen off from them, but 10,000 Fist, their third album, will always be one of my favorite albums, especially with the guitar solos. You know, the first two albums didn't have guitar solos. The Sickness and Believe, they didn't have guitar solos, and so it's like when Stricken comes on and the guitar solo hits, it's absolutely incredible. David Draymond, great vocal performance. Dan Donegan, his guitar playing, great the whole way through. Disturbed, great band. Make sure you check out 10,000 Fist from Disturbed. Number 2, and I know I have mentioned this on my favorite albums list, which was our first video. Make sure you check that out as well. I know I mentioned it on there, but I'm going to mention it again because seriously, this album is amazing start to finish. And it's going to be the 1973 live album from the band Deep Purple entitled Made in Japan. Songs like Highway Star, Strange Kind of Woman, they do Child in Time, which that song alone got me wanting to be a vocalist. Ian Gillan's vocals, especially in the chorus line, where he just goes as high as he possibly can. It just blew me away the first time I heard, because I had heard Highway Star before, and I heard Smoke on the Water, and you know, it was cool listening to Highway Star. They do a little extended version of that. Great solos in the song, but as soon as Child in Time hits, and it's just a slow kind of paced song with kind of moody vocals, and then it hits this just huge chorus, and Ian Gillan's belting out these vocals, and it is absolutely incredible. For drummers of any genre, if you're a country drummer or a Christian rock drummer or anything, the song "The Mule" is a definite must listen. You can find a video for it on YouTube. In fact, I'll probably post it in the description below, so you can check that out. But Ian Pace is drumming this whole album, but in particular the song "The Mule," which is basically, it's got guitar part or other instrument parts at the beginning and at the end, but pretty much the whole song is just one big drum solo, and is absolutely incredible what that man can do. I definitely recommend that song. This whole album, Smoke on the Water, they do a 6-minute version of Smoke on the Water. John Lord and Richie Blackmore trading off solos, and it is just an incredible song. I've said it before and I'll say it again, make sure you check this album out. That is Made in Japan from the band Deep Purple. Okay, number 3 is going to be the first prog metal band that I ever got into, and this is going to be Images and Words, the 1992 release from the band Dream Theater. And again, this album is 100% amazing all the way through. Everybody's doing a top-notch performance, giving 110% throughout the entire album. The very first Dream Theater song I ever heard was "Pull Me Under," and that's the first song on this album. That's the song that made me want to buy this album. And incredible song. Songs Surrounded, probably one of my favorite Dream Theater songs. Another Day, which has a beautiful alto sax solo at the end of it. Incredible songs. And then the Behemoth, not the band, the Behemoth song actually absolutely just gets you, and just probably their best song to date, Metropolis Part 1. The drumming in that song, the guitar playing from John Petrucci in that song, the bass solo from John Myung. I still have not been able to learn that, but incredible the whole way through. Kevin Moore on the keyboards, just incredible album. I definitely recommend, and this is even an easy one for people that don't listen to metal. This is an easy one to hand them. Show them songs like Surrounded and Pull Me Under, Another Day, even Take the Time. Great songs to get somebody into metal, and even progressive metal. Just totally a great album. 110% from all the members in the band. That's Images and Words, the 1992 release from the band Dream Theater. Make sure you check that out. Okay, we're gonna go on to number 4 now. And this album right here is probably one that if you're not already into metal, and you haven't really heard the guttural style of vocals and all that, this is probably one that you won't enjoy. And I'm extremely surprised that I got into it the way I did, because at the time during high school, I wasn't really into bands doing all the guttural vocals and all that. But this album right here hooked me from this is going to be the album Midian from the band Cradle of Filth. It came out in 2000. And from the first song I ever heard from it was Her Ghost in the Fog. I heard it on the game Brutal Legend, which is an absolutely incredible game. And if you're a metalhead, it has an incredible soundtrack. But there's a part in the game where you're fighting all these evil demons and all that, and you're using the power of metal and guitar and all that to kill all these demons. And while you're doing that, the song Her Ghost in the Fog is playing in the background, and it's like a creepy setting. Definitely check that game out if you haven't. I know it's an older one, but incredible game. But anyway, Her Ghost in the Fog is just an absolutely incredible song. Other songs from the album: Cthulhu Dawn, Saffron's Curse, Tortured Soul Asylum, which closes out the album. And my favorite Cradle of Filth song ever is Tearing the Veil from Grace. Absolutely incredible album. The lyrics all the way through this whole album are incredible. Danny Filth, probably one of the best lyricists in all of metal music. Some of the stuff he comes up with just blows my mind. He puts words together and gives them a new meaning, and it just an incredible album. like I said, if you're not already into metal, this will probably be one that you probably won't get into. But if you are into metal and you really haven't gotten too much into the guttural vocals, that's probably what's going to stop you. That, and it's fast-paced, a lot of blast beats. It's very extreme, but nonetheless an absolutely incredible album, and it would not be on this list if it wasn't. So this is going to be the album Midian from the band Cradle of Filth. Number 5, and this is going to be a very decisive album with listeners and viewers of the video. A lot of people wouldn't even consider it metal because there's this big thing between the hardcore and the metalcore kids and the straight up metal kids. And yes, there is a difference. I never thought there was, but there's a huge difference in the style of music and in the way they write, in what they talk about. And but I would not be able to say that I got into metal without this album. And this is going to be the 2005 release from the band Bullet for My Valentine, entitled The Poison. Tears Don't Fall is generally always the very first song you hear from this band, probably because it's their best song. I wouldn't say it's their best song because it's not my favorite, but to someone that has never heard it, this song is incredible. The guitar solo is incredible, the drumming's incredible, vocals are incredible, just all the way through this album. Other tracks, Cries in Vain, which was one of the very first songs I learned how to play on guitar. Incredible song. It also appeared on their Hand of Blood EP, which came out a few years earlier. The title track, The Poison, the song Room 409. And I'm going to cheat a little bit because when I bought this album, I made sure I bought the special edition, the deluxe edition. And on it is a song called My Fist, Her Mouth, Your Scars. That song is total thrash metal all the way. I don't care what you say. It's an incredible track. It's heavy, and it makes you want to punch a wall. This is an incredible album, and I would not look down upon it. I've gotten out of the metalcore genre pretty much all the way now. I've found a lot heavier stuff and a lot better stuff that I would like to listen to, but like I said, I would not have been able to get into metal and find all these other things if it was not for this album. So definitely recommend The Poison from Bullet for My Valentine. Check that out. Number 6 is also going to be a kind of decisive one, not between metalheads or anything, but mainly because of the vocals. And this is going to be the 1983 release from Merciful Fate, entitled Melissa. Now before this, I had heard King Diamond. I had heard songs like Abigail, Invisible Guest. I had heard some songs from the Fatal Portrait album, and of course Welcome Home. That I've seen Clerks 2 enough times not to have heard Welcome Home. And if you've seen that movie, you've heard that song. But it was always the vocals that kind of threw me off with King Diamond, and he's the lead singer for Merciful Fate, or was. But this album is not like that. He does a lot more just singing instead of going full falsetto like he does in his solo band. An incredible album all the way through. Songs like Into the Coven, Curse of the Pharaohs, Evil, which starts off the album, Satan's Fall, which is like an 11-minute track, but such a good song. And of course, the title track of the album, Melissa. And this is always the song that I show people first when I want them to listen to Merciful Fate. This is always the song that I show them first, because if you get past, I know it's a lot more singing than he does in a solo project besides the falsettos and all that, but he does do the falsettos sometimes in this album. But it's very percussive. It's a very, very well done album. Melissa, the song, very well done song. I know when it gets to that falsetto part at the beginning, a lot of people get turned off, and it's like, I don't want to listen to that anymore. Like that's got to be a joke. Like they just laugh about it. But once you start listening to it enough times, you start kind of saying, okay, it sounds weird, but it fits. Like, you wouldn't be able to take King Diamond out of that and put somebody else in there that didn't do those falsettos and didn't sing the way he did, and it still sound as good. You just wouldn't. So, I mean, absolutely incredible album. Make sure you check this one out as well. It's going to be the album Melissa from Merciful Fate. Number 7 is also from 1983, and this is going to be Metallica's Kill 'Em All. And this is an absolutely incredible album. I know I keep saying that, but like I heard Enter Sandman, Sad But True, stuff from Reload and Load, and it was good. I just didn't really get the sense of metal from it, like, and to go back and like hear Kill 'Em All and see where Metallica started from. Such an amazing band back in the day. Their first 4 albums, Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Injustice for All, absolutely incredible albums. And this is where it all started. This was their very first album. Songs like No Remorse, Whiplash, one of my favorite Metallica songs, The Four Horsemen, Jump in the Fire, and of course, Seek and Destroy. The Seek and Destroy was the song that got me to pick up a guitar. The main riff, that was the riff that got me to buy a guitar and start learn that whole song. Incredible album. You know, you got Cliff Burton on bass right after he joined, and you got the instrumental with him. It's just him and Lars Ulrich playing it, bass and drums. That's it. Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth. For bass players, got to check that song out. Absolutely incredible. The whole album, incredible. Kill 'Em All, Metallica, total thrash metal. Check it out. Number 8 is going to be the 2007 release from the band Machine Head called The Blackening. And this album is a straight banger all the way through. Every song on this album is absolutely incredible. Starting off with Clenching the Fist of Dissent, Aesthetics of Hate, which was written about Dimebag Darrell's murder and how Rob Flynn felt about it. An incredible song, Now I Lay Thee Down. The album closer, A Farewell to Arms. And one of my favorite metal songs of all time has to be Halo from Machine Head, which is on this album. And absolutely incredible the whole way through. The guitar solos, the drumming from Dave McClain, Rob Flynn's vocals, just absolutely incredible album. It took me a while to get into it, but sitting at the house one day playing Halo and my best friends jamming this album while we're playing, I was focusing more on this album than I was even worried about the game. I just get, man, this is an incredible album. These songs are killer, and definitely got me into it. If you like Pantera, this is, I'm not going to say this sounds a lot like Pantera, but it has a lot of groove like Pantera. So if you enjoy them, I would definitely recommend checking this out. That's going to be The Blackening from the band Machine Head. Next up on the list at number 9 is an entry from Mr. Ronnie James Dio and the band he was in 1976 with Richie Blackmore called Rainbow, and this is their album Rising. Songs like Terror Woman, A Light in the Black, Starstruck, Run with the Wolf, and probably my favorite song Dio ever appeared on is Stargazer. Absolutely incredible all the way through. The drumming is amazing. The guitar playing from Richie Blackmore is incredible. Jimmy Bain on bass. And vocals from Dio are top notch all the way through. Probably some of the best vocals that he has ever done. And bar none, this is an incredible album. So I definitely hope that you'll check this one out. One of my favorite albums of all time. I own it 3 times on iTunes. I bought the CD and I got it on record. Just incredible album. Make sure you check it out. That's going to be the album Rising from the band Rainbow. And finally, at number 10 is the album that got me into death metal. Probably my favorite metal genre right now. And that's going to be the album The Sound of Perseverance from 1998 from the band Death. The song that got me into death metal was a song called Story to Tell that's on this album. And Chuck Schuldner's vocals, his guitar playing, all the way through. I believe Richard Christie is the plays on this album, and the drumming incredible. This whole album, it's like progressive death metal, technical death metal, melodic death metal, whatever you want to call it. This is death metal, and this is death metal at its finest. Chuck Schuldiner, rest in peace. Incredible guy, incredible guitar player, incredible vocalist. Their cover of Painkiller from Judas Priest is on this album, and I never thought I'd be able to hear somebody do Judas Priest almost as good as Judas Priest, but they absolutely nail it with their cover of Painkiller. Other songs, Scavenger of Human Sorrow, Spirit Crusher, Flesh in the Power It Holds, and Voice of the Soul, an incredible instrumental. It just goes to show the pure talent that Chuck had and that the band had. I think he hired pretty much new people every album, but Chuck was the brainchild and wrote the songs. An incredible guy, and I really wish he was still around today. I would love to see what he would be doing now. And so if you're trying to get into death metal, I would highly recommend starting with The Sound of Perseverance from 1998 from the band Death. And that's gonna do it for this episode of The Toast of Nate. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave comments and suggestions. I want to know, what were some of the albums that got you into metal? What are some of your favorite metal albums? Make sure you leave your comments and suggestions in the comments section below. Find us on Facebook and Instagram, like I said before. Send us a message. Continue the conversation off the videos. Always looking to talk to new people about metal or any kind of music. So make sure you find us there. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified so you can get all of our future videos here on YouTube. Share them with your friends, share them with your coworkers, share them with fellow metalheads that you don't even know. I hope that everybody that will enjoy this video, and keep rocking on, man. Keep the metal alive and keep music alive. You know, music will help you get through a lot of hard times in life. I know it has with me, especially the metal music genre. There's so much feeling and emotion in some of the lyrics and some of the songs, and you can even feel emotion from the guitars in metal, and it absolutely incredible. Changed my life getting into metal. So like I said, I hope you really enjoyed this episode, and make sure to check out all of our future videos. We'll see you in the next one. Rock on!